Esther Frink paused suddenly at the edge of the clearing near their home in Brookfield, New York, where she was gathering kindling that early winter evening in 1808, as she heard the distinct sound of her name being called. The sobbing, agonizing cry of Esther floated from the wind through the deep woods, but there was no one there. Running terrified back to the house, she collapsed unconscious at her mother's feet. Her father, Esther Frink, revived her with a rag of cool water and vinegar on her forehead as she told them what happened. Years later, Esther's cousin, Thomas York Jr., rode to visit her brothers for the night. She liked Thomas because he never twitted her about being an old maid of 24 and always allowed her to ride his horse. She expressed interest in attending the Methodist services on Beaver Creek Road in the Waterman District Schoolhouse, a trip she had taken many times before that would take her about an hour on horseback. Her cousin buckled her side saddle to his horse, helped her mount, and off she rode that March Sunday morning. As she neared the schoolhouse where services were to be held, she heard the clippity-clop of hooves behind her. Turning to look, she recognized her friend Dudley Hall with his horse and cutter. As Dudley raised his whip arm to wave hello, Esther's horse reared in terror and bolted. She fell backwards, but her foot became entangled in the stirrup and she was dragged behind the galloping animal. Her body was tossed about like a doll against the tree stumps and logs in the new clearing near the mill. The horse regained the road, but instead of crossing the bridge, plunged into the icy stream. Dudley summoned the help of men from the schoolhouse that tracked her down with his horse and cutter. They carefully lifted Esther's body from the stream to the bank. There was the faint pulsation of her heart, and then it was gone. The wind sighed through the trees, and the men could distinctly hear the name Esther, Esther in the wind. So this is actually a true story, but I thought the part about the wind was a bit of an exaggeration by the author, until reading her stone's inscription and her eulogy. Her headstone says, "Why should we mourn departing friends, or shake at death's alarm? 'Tis but the voice that Jesus sends to call us to his arms." And the priest's eulogy at her funeral also mentions the wind's voice. He said, "Say, Esther, what was that sweet voice that called you so friendly by name? Oh, did your blessed spirit rejoice when this kindly messenger came? What mournful deep groans were those heard that haunted the gloom of night? A warning that truly appeared, foreboding some awful affright." So what do you think? Do you believe it?